friends, my name is Renuka, and from today I'm starting some kind of series where I will make five cards with the same stamp, and I'll use that stamp differently. Maybe I'll add less or more other elements to it, but I'll start to stick to these stamps. And I'm using this Priscus Love Letter stamp, and the substitute of it, you can use the Lawn Fawn stamp or you can use the Simmons's New Kid stamp. It is quite a similar one in a manner, like the coffee and cup themes. And I'm not using I'm not making Simmons's 1 kit and 10 card for this month, because I already have this kind of stamp and I already have one die cut of paper smooches with me, which is perfectly coordinated this kind of theme. So I will not purchase the kit, but in these two products you can make the similar cards with that kit. So now let's jump into the card project. Now these are some papers with the Bristol White Smooth cardstock, and I will use to stamp my images on them. And I'm using here Misty. So now for this card I will use this cup here, and this is the Misty grid which I bought from Simmons's. You can print out your own grid if you want to just make sure that you're stamping perfectly and correctly. Lately I found that if I use any acetate sheet or something like that, it's more better to use this kind of stuff, because you can use that a different manner. Now you can see that what I'm really talking about. So I place this on this cardstock and it is perfectly there. So now I want this exactly middle of my paper, so I'm kind of placing the stamp here. Then I'll just flip this and I will move this little bit so that it will not on my way. And then I'm using here MFT's Hybrid ink. You can use any ink which is kind of waterproof, because I'm planning to do some kind of watercolor technique here. And make sure that if you are using alcohol markers or like other markers which is alcohol base like Copic or something like that, then you should use the Memento ink. Now I'll stamp this image, and then you can see that in the first time it's like very nice, but I want one more time so it will get more like a crisp clear image. So this will be the focal point of my card, and I'll add at this moment sentiment to this one, and I will stamp thanks a friend, or you can stamp basically anything. You can stamp happy birthday on this also, because it's like now you can see that if I will plan this on this blank paper, you can't exactly realize that it's like little bit offset or something like that. But when I'll put this grid here, and then I place my sentiment here, so I'm kind of making sure that this is properly lined up, and then I'll just pick that with Misty. And here I'm not worried about that it will catch little bit of ink or not, because I just wipe it off and it will clean just like that. So now after stamping these image, I just decided to watercolor this, and I use distress inks for that, and anti-cleaning I use for stamping. So I use that tea bag stamp here, and quite the use the anti-cleaning, because it is quite a subtle color. It is not prominent, so at the same time I can have the focal point of that teacup there. And I'm just placing those randomly. If you want more image going on those coffee cups, you can mask it, but I prefer to just put randomly. And when I is quite full on the card, I just turn out little bit card. Now I'm using here Spectrum Aqua Color, and these are the aqua markers. So I put little bit of color there, and then I'm just scrubbing my watercolor brush on it, so I'll get that kind of watery look here, and water will do the rest of the work. And now the small tip will do magic here, cause other markers I don't know how they are using the small tip, but I am using those for the shading here. So you will get more thin line, and here you can see the way I color those cup and saucer, you will get the illusion of the roundness of the stamp, so it will not look flat. And then I add little bit of tea color there, or coffee color there, whatever you say, but as I add the tea bag, so I decided that it's tea color. Then I take the walnut color from Distress ink, and then I diluted it quite, and I just put those on the tea bag, so it feel like that all tea bags are used, and it will add little bit more texture to my card. So here I'm using the Bistro watercolor. Now you can see that I don't want to use the mask, but I put just a rough paper there to stamp that. And while coloring this, I just want to share one tip with you. These watercolor markers which having already water in them, so these are like quite watery one. So whenever you are using those, you have some kind of trouble, cause it get more water if you push it. So at that time you can use just a paper towel, and you can wipe dab to it, and you can get the excess inks out of it. Now here I am just adding little bit more shading with the same marker I used before. And I love to use this marker because it's really easy to do wet on wet technique with these, and the same time the watercolor brush. Now at this moment I decided that I want something else on the card, so I just decided to add scallop borders on both the side, and then I choose kind of matching color card base for these from my stash. I think these papers are from Recollections, and then I choose this corrugated paper, which is from the clearance section from Michael's, I think, and it's like the Christmas one. But now you can see that how well it is coordinated with this card, because if you have a coffee or tea theme card, the brown paper looks really nice. Now for the inside, I just cut out one off-white panel here, and I used those leftovers which is from my front panel here to decorate the inside of the card. And same time I will stamp the same stamp with the antique linen ink inside of the card. Now I want little bit raised look here, so I use here fun foam. Most of the times I use fun foam for the steady look, and that complete this card. So I added couple of tea bags also inside, so you can see that you can write on that, or you can change the sentiment here, and it will become a Valentine Day, Mother's Day card, or Father's Day card. The possibilities are endless, whatever you think. Now here I'm using a craft cardstock, and first of all I decided to use this Delicata copper ink, but I thought it will not look nice on it. I need much more prominent color, so then I shifted to the golden ink, and this one is like from Color Box, and this is really nice ink. So I stamp a bunch of cups there, and each time I stamp I just twist around or turn around the stamp so that it will give a different direction. Now technique for this stamping is start from the one corner and go to the another, so it will give you the overall look. Now inside also I stamp there, and just I use a Hero Art stamp cleaner to clean my stamp, and use a wipe to clean that. Then I just decide that I'll put little bit, I put that stamp aside for a little bit, because when you use the pigment inks, it's like they are a little bit wet, and if you directly start project on them, you will basically ruin your project. So now here I'm preparing for the another card, which will I show afterwards. So I'm using here Valentine ink, and I'm just stamping those coffee marks there, and then I'll use Hero Art white embossing detail fine powder, and then I just emboss that. Here I'm using watercolor card, and now on this volume also I will stamp with same Valentine ink. Here I'm using the dazzlers. Why I'm using dazzlers? Because it having little bit shine, although those shine is not looking on a card, because I'm using here wow embossing golden powder. But when you have a dazzler shine Valentine ink, you can easily see those on your cards. And when you're using the normal ink, it is like sometimes it fade up and you can't see on white. So this is just a small trick. You don't have to use that. You can have Valentine, you go ahead and use that. Now I just using my heat gun to heat it up, and the main thing here you can see, first of all I go with that golden stamping, then I go to white stamping, and then I go to the volume one, just because you need a more heat and hot gun for the volume one, because you don't want to ripe up, but at the same time you have to hit it and it just melted. So I did it that manner. Now here I'm using a Spectrum, no, these are the Prismacolor pencils, and these are quite vibrant one and wax based pencils. So whenever you are using that, it's like please go with the light handed, because if you want to mix the colors together, and if you add more color wax on the paper, then it will not get another layer on that waxing. So basically whenever you are using these Prismacolor pencils, you should go the light handedly, and then you can add a couple of more colors and shadings afterward. Now you can see each time I am just using 2 colors of them, but the motion of my hand gives the cup a round effect here. These pencils are a little bit expensive, so you can use the watercolor pencils also if you want to. These are water based pencils, so you can use water on them, but particularly for this project I am not using water. I will put them just like that. I just skip the process, that I don't want to bore you with the each and every cup. I just want to show you that how you can do this. So I just slow up the process here. So you can see now I use the white color pencil with the silver one, and now you can see the strokes, the way I use the strokes. So you can more define strokes to give a round effect of a cup. These kind of small things add more detail to your card, because whenever you are stamping your stamp on a card, it is kind of flat. The way you color it, the way you add shading or the light effects, that makes your card live, and that makes your image live. So now you can see that in every cup I try to make a same kind of shading, and I use only one side of it more colored and another is like little bit color. So these things shows that it catches light on a one side, although in practically this is not the exact one, because if you have light on them and these are in the different direction, it will not give the same effect on the each. But I do that dramatic effect here to just want to enhance the look of the cups. Now each time I use the same shading, but here I use the contrast just to show you how you can blend this contrast also by layering the same colors couple of times, and then you can just blend it. You can use the blender pencils. Prismacolors do come with the blender pencils. You can go with the blender pens also, but basically I suggest that just go ahead and use those colors, because those are really beautiful. Don't blend them. So it's like people use also gum sole to use that. That is also the another technique. You can put baby oil to replacement of gum sole if you don't have that, but at particular for this project I use only the main. And now for those sugar things, I had the white gel pen. And for the next card here, which we already embossed on the white, I used this pearlescent metallic colors, and I ordered this from Amazon. You can bought this from, I think, John's also, and these are not very costly. They're like $5 or $4, but they gives a really nice effect. Here I'm using wet on wet technique, so I just use a bigger round brush to put color on the cups, and then I'll add color to each of them. Now this the water flowing here already flows and restricted those flows just because of the raised surface of the embossing. These are the like old techniques, but each time you do with the different colors and different material, it will give a really different look. Now here you can see wherever I feel that water is too much, I just use a small paper towel to dab there and took the excess one. The same technique you can use to erase your mistakes also. If you have a drop of color or something like that, or the color goes outside the image, you just need to wet it and just use a white paper towel, the clean one, and you can just pick those colors. These are the beauty of the watercolors. So now you can see that I do the same thing here. You can use the water brush here to make these kind of techniques, and just make sure that every time you change the color, you should wash your brush, otherwise you contaminate your image and you will not get that bright effect. Now here you don't have to use these colors. You can use the any watercolor, or you can use the Zig special markers, or any normal cheap watercolor will also do for this technique. Now basically the trick here I want to share, I want to really share with you is that whenever you are stamping these kind of images, just make sure that some of the stamp goes outside, so it will give the illusion of continuity basically. And when you are just putting background here, I will add lots of water to all over it, and I'll make sure that I will not go over those cups. And now I'm adding a silver gray color to it. Now whenever you are doing these kind of techniques, there are some kind of swatches there. You will not get a fluent effect because these colors are a little bit transparent, and you can go on and add more water on them, but I just suggest that pick those swatches by using the paper towel again. Now I just want to use some kind of sentiment here, so I use I draw about 2-3 sentiments, and whatever we emboss that image, you can see out frame, I'll use that for the next card and next project and next video also. So here I'll use this I love you stamp, which is from the paper Simons's, and I just want to add those in perfectly lined. So I use the grid mat again, which came for a Misty, but I use here those, and I place those letters there because sometimes in a blank place it is a little bit difficult to align the things. Then I add some silver here and golden here by using the Zig circles, and I just give a little bit of dimension to these cards. By some of them you can add the foam. Here you can add the whole panel to the foam, but I just want to raise that, and I want to add another layer of the volume here. Here I am using golden and silver volume by Prima, and this is really beautiful. This is kind of wow thing add to your project. And now here you can see a perfect alignment of those half cut circle. I use one of the grid block here, and then I place that and again put some more weight on that to stick on that. So I hope you like this project. I will share more projects and 2 more cards in the next series or the next video. And if you like my channel, do subscribe to it. You can follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and on my blog also. And for more such a fun cards and Valentine Day cards and coffee cards, stay tuned with me. So until the next crafty project, have a crafty life. Bye bye.